last 72 hours been like for you to go from wherever you were after the 4 game of the year?
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty crazy. You know, obviously devastating. We weren't able to get the job done, but you know, it was a great year overall. You know, I had a lot of fun, and then got home and you know had some tough discussions with my parents, and you know, found that this was the best decision for me, and you know, I'm here and I'm so excited to be here. So yeah, I'm happy I made that decision.
You just finished your first NHL practice. How did that feel for you?
Yeah, it was good. I mean, it was pretty fun to have people at the practice, but yeah, it was good. You know, nothing new. You know, it's hockey. So.
Matty, what's the meaning of now being a pro hockey player in the city of Seattle?
Yeah, I mean, it's exciting. It's new. It's a new franchise, as you guys know, and you know, it's going to be a lot of fun. You know, we're trying to build something here, and you know, whether that's, you know, a historic program. So that's kind of what we're trying to do. I know it's the start, but you know, we're moving forward.
What do you understand from day one about the responsibilities of being a pro?
Yeah, it's just taking care of your body, making sure you're ready to go every day. You know, whether it's in the weight room, outside the rink, taking care of all your stuff, and you know, you're kind of on your own. You know, you got people around you. You know, you got you know, Ron and coaches and you know, your teammates to help you out. But I think it's a little bit more on your own, so you got to be more responsible. You know.
And Ron, what were the last 72 hours like for you? You didn't even feel down.
No, they were good. I mean, you know, obviously it was disappointing to see Michigan lose and Matty have a chance to play for the national championship. You know, they were flown right out of Boston after the game, so he wasn't around. But I was fortunate enough to get to have dinner with his mom and dad and brother and sister on Friday night, which was great. And his agent, and had a good talk. And you know, the reasons why we liked Matty when we drafted him were there this weekend, right? He was all in on winning a national championship, and when it didn't happen, it bothered him. So it took some time for him to sort of sort through things and get to the decision that he felt was best for him. And you know, that's we're excited about that. We know he's all in when he gets here, and you know, we're proud that you know, he was that invested in trying to win a title there for sure.
Ron, you mentioned character as being an important key ingredient of this franchise from day one. We just heard from Dave about Matty's character and the impact it's making. What have you seen from Matty about his character and how it's going to maybe potentially lead him to a lot of success down the road here?
Well, I mean, one of the things I just talked about was, you know, he didn't have one foot out the door. It would have been easy to have one foot out the door in Michigan, but he was focused on winning a title. That was his commitment to that school and that program, and when it didn't happen, he was crushed. It took some time to work through that. As I said, I had the pleasure of having dinner with his mom and dad, brother and sister. What a terrific family. So as good as I felt about Matty before that dinner, I feel even better now that knowing that he's got a real solid background and it's a great support system there. And you know, you just, everything, you know, like see some of the videos he did when he was at the Olympics and stuff. The personality is exciting. Get that in our locker room. And you know, he's kind of an easygoing, fun-loving kind of guy, but he's also a talented hockey player. And this is the start of a process for him. The player you see now is not going to be the player he is, you know, 5 months from now, 2 years from now. It's going to be a process for him to continue to grow and get better, and we're excited to help him in that growth.
Matty, what are you hoping to take away from these last few weeks of the season as you springboard into your first full year next year?
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, learning from the guys around me, the coaches, you know, getting that experience playing in that, you know, that first couple NHL games, you know, getting, you know, your legs under you and kind of getting the feel of where you're at. You know, I think it's a great opportunity that I'm able to be here and be around these guys, practice with them, you know, learn from their habits, the way that they play, prepare, you know, take care of themselves, things like that. So, you know, I'm definitely fortunate to be here and to get that experience so that, you know, next year comes around and you're ready to go. You know how you got to prepare. You know how you got to be. You know what you're jumping into. So, yeah, I'm excited to, you know, kind of take it all in and, you know, be a sponge like people say. So.
Hey, Matt, are you the kind of person who gets a little nervous or a little hyped up before games? You're going to be nervous tomorrow night, but for whatever night you play?
Yeah, I mean, Not totally. I think before the game, I'll get, I like to get anxious. I get excited. I don't think I'll have, a ton of nerves. I think once the game starts, it's, like I said, it's hockey. I've been doing it for my whole life. So once you kind of get on the ice and the game starts to get going, you really forget about it. But I think that first couple minutes and, walking out on the ice when with the packed crowd, that'll be cool and really exciting. And yeah, definitely probably some chills and some nerves jumping in there too.
Hey Ron, last 72 hours, besides worrying about all the rest of the business, any thoughts about when you first got on the ice after a few more games in Jersey?
Yeah, my first game was kind of a little bit crazy. I played, I want to say I was playing junior for the Sioux. I played in Brantford, I think, on a Thursday night, played in Niagara Falls on a Friday night. The GM was there to meet me, Larry Plow. We drove from Niagara Falls to Buffalo, spent the night in a hotel, got up the next morning, flew to Hartford, did the morning skate, played that night, flew back to Toronto the next morning. Scout met me, drove me to Kitchener, played that afternoon. Then drove back to Toronto after the game, and they told me I was on a 3-game tryout. So we're not going to do that to Matty this time. But, we want to make sure that we give him every opportunity to be successful. And you grew up your whole life dreaming about playing in the National Hockey League, and you only get that one opportunity to play your first game. So I'm sure he'll be excited about it, and we're looking forward to having him wearing that Kraken jersey, number 10, and seeing him out on the ice.
Yep.
Brian, you mentioned this is a process. We won't get the same player in 5 months, 2 years. But what are you hoping to see from him over these next few weeks?
Well, the same thing we've seen, since we scouted him before we drafted him. He's a high energy kind of guy. He competes hard at both ends of the rink, gives everything he has every shift, and that's what we're looking for. As he said, there's a lot of this that's going to go into. I believe at the Olympics, my understanding was you lost something like 6 or 8 pounds from not eating there.
Yeah.
So, as we get into the off season, being able to understand kind of the nutrition aspect a little bit better and the training aspect a little bit better, and having that time to sort of, last year we forget he went to the World Championships, ended up with a high ankle sprain that affected some of his training in the summer too. So this summer hopefully he has a stronger summer as that well, and takes the experience he has here in the last 10 games and uses that to his benefit and puts him in a much better place when he comes back in the fall.
Manny, what was happening on a line out there with Jordan Everly right off the get-go? The team was not all-star this year, but to be a part of that right from the get-go.
Yeah, I mean, he's a great player. I was, fortunate to be out there with them. It's pretty cool, obviously. Coming from college and you're right out there. So, he's a smart player. He works hard, and you don't get much from practice, but yeah, it's cool. Just that's as much as I can say. I also play with Ryan Donato too out there, and I kind of grew up with him a little bit. He was always around. I work out with him, so it's really nice to have him by my side too, because he's a familiar face, and pretty comfortable with him too. So that was really nice.
And Matty, how's the reception been from your new teammates? Anyone kind of reach out to you after signing?
Yeah. Actually, a bunch of guys did. They all sent me some nice texts and reach out if you need anything. So there was actually a lot of them, and they've all been great here this first day. Just answering any questions I have. Being like, you should help me out with drills, things like that. So they've been really good.
And what was the reaction from your family too? Are any of them going to be able to make it out to the road trip, or maybe this next home game?
Yeah, I think they're coming out to Calgary. They're really excited. Not just to see me play, but also to get out to Seattle. I know. I don't think, other than my dad, maybe a couple times, I don't think any of them have really been out here. So just like me, hopping off first time, it'll be their first time, and they're really excited to get here and see it all. We've honestly only heard great things about the city, so I'm excited for them to kind of be here with me.
Hey, Manny, when you made the decision to go back to Michigan, you talked a lot about that full college experience, that you didn't get that weird COVID year. And, you guys had a good team making the run. You came up just a little bit short, but still got pretty far. Still a pretty good season. Might be too soon to reflect on it now that it's a week old, but now that you look back on it, do you feel like you pretty much, other than that national championship, accomplished everything you wanted out of that year?
Yeah, I mean, looking back on it now, it was an awesome year. Obviously it's tough. That's gonna burn for a little bit and not getting the job done, and everyone on my team felt it. Everyone at Michigan felt it too. So that was obviously tough, but we were able to reflect a little bit as being around each other the last couple of days, and we look back on it. We won a Big Ten championship. We won about I don't know how exactly, maybe 31, 32 games. So that was a pretty good year, and we all grew as people. We all grew as players. We got extremely close. I mean, we were close last year, but this year we were really, really tight. So I'm gonna miss those guys, and but it was a really good year to kind of go out on, and we did a good job.
We good in here before we go to Zoom? All right, Ira, go ahead and kick us off on Zoom.
Alrighty, let's go ahead and start with Pontanica.
You guys, I have a few questions actually. First one's a quick one. After this, do you know if you'll play at Worlds or will you just start training? And that leads me to this. It seems like the real value of this, as exciting as it is, it gives you a head start to next year. So Matty, what do you really want to soak up so that you can get a head start toward next season? And Ron, where do you see him in 5 years, and what does he need to do to get there?
Let you go first.
All right. So yeah, haven't really planned out my summer yet. Other than knowing I'm gonna probably, be home to train or maybe Michigan. Not totally sure yet. So can't really get back to you on that one. But over the next 20 days or so, I'm really hoping to just kind of see how it is playing in the NHL. Get those first games of experience, and try to, like I said, try to get my feet under me. Try to hopefully make as much of an impact as I can, and learn from the guys around me. So that's what I'm hoping to learn, and bring that into next year, and come in with a running start instead of just starting from scratch. So.
Yeah, in the world, we obviously will have a discussion on that. Certainly, Matty's answered the bell every time I think the U.S. has called. He went last summer. I said he had a high ankle sprain in the tournament. He did the U20s again at Christmas to going back to defend the gold medal. Unfortunately, that tournament was shut down back at Michigan. And then when the NHL decided not to go to the Olympics, they had the opportunity to go to the Olympics. So once again, he answered the bell, went over there. So we played a lot of hockey in a short period of time, and we'll have to sit down and sort of assess what's best for him moving forward. Is that the best to go play in that tournament, or is it better to start the off-ice conditioning and getting himself as strong as he possibly can and as fit as possibly can for next season? So we'll cross that bridge. As far as where I see him, he's a key piece of our organization. I hate to, I never want to put on anybody's shoulders, but he's a guy that we believe is going to be part of the Kraken family for a long time. We continue to see him get better and better. He's done it at every level he's played at. He's got the character and the determination to go out there and compete hard each and every night. And we think he's somebody that our fans are going to, come to really enjoy watching. And we expect him to really enjoy playing in Seattle. And I know he didn't win a national championship, but, maybe there's a silver thing that we can share together at some point down the road, because that's what we're all here for.
Derek Harper.
Matty, the fans here have been really excited to see you, and they can't wait. They've been really anticipating it. How excited does that make you?
Yeah, that's puts a smile on my face. Makes me really happy to know that they're excited for me to be here, for me to come, and I'm really excited to see them at the rink, and just be here and be around them. It's pretty cool that this is so new, and they're so invested and involved in it, and excited about it, and so that that excitement makes me excited, and I'm sure it makes the guys in that locker room really excited too, to play in that rink every night and see them there and supporting them, and so really happy, I'd say.
Okay, let's go ahead and wrap this up here with John Lupo.
Thank you. I just have a question for each of you. Matty, you played at the Olympics and you played with a lot of great players and against a lot of great players. What kind of experience do you think you were able to get that you could take into the season when you start tomorrow with the Kraken?
Yeah, at the Olympics, I think the biggest thing that I took out of that, game's a little faster, a little bit more physical. I think those two things from remembering playing there and are going to be good for me tomorrow, and making sure that I'm as physical as I can be as well in my battles. On the wall when people are angling guys. So I think the physicality piece is pretty big, and I think also just remembering to play my game and use my tools, use my skating, use my my mind, things like that. I think getting away from that is not a good thing to do. So using my abilities to create space and make plays, and hopefully I can do that tomorrow for the team.
And Ron, if I could just ask you quickly, you mentioned how much hockey that Matty's played recently. As you said, he's answered the bell almost every time he's been called, so that speaks to his determination and his work ethic. But since from the first time you saw him and you were really interested in him to now, leading up to tomorrow night, what do you think has improved the most in his game that will allow him to naturally be successful with the team, but also to give you the confidence to call him up after signing him and have him debut tomorrow?
Well, I think you always watch, and as I touched on earlier, his work ethic and determination has been strong from day one. It hasn't changed. Interesting, going into last season, one of the things that we talked about and he wanted to work on was his shot. And there was a stretch where he was playing the flank on the power play for Michigan, had a lot of one-timers that eventually ended up in the back of the net. So his determination to continue to work to get better is exciting from our standpoint too. He's not complacent and sitting there saying, okay, I'm in the NHL. He's still looking at his game saying, there's things I can improve on and I got to work on them, and he'll continue to do that.
All right, thanks everyone.
Alrighty, that
Thanks,
was
guys,
good.
appreciate that.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.